Let me show you how you can easily create a watercolor lemon slice on your iPad in the app Procreate. I'm working on a canvas of 2,500 pixels by 2,500 pixels, and I have left a link in the description to the free color palette. So if you're ready, let's get started. First, we'll grab a special brush that is part of my treasure chest brush pack, the round watery brush. It's a great watercolor brush. And for the color, we'll grab the first one in this row. And if you don't already have these brushes, just go to freefromflow.com. They are totally free. Then we are going to turn on the Symmetry tool. Let's go to the wrench, then to Canvas. Then you need to turn on the drawing guide and then go to Edit Drawing Guide. And then we'll go to Symmetry. And then you can tap Options and set it to Radial. And then we can just tap Done. And now with this brush, when we start painting, we get this nice symmetrical effect. But first, let me show you the opacity and size. The opacity is at 100% and the size is at, well, let's set that to 20. Nice round number. And now we are going to make like a little slice of our lemon inside one of these areas. And don't touch the line. And try to keep a little space here in the center. So we'll go for something like this. And don't lift your pen from your screen. Because every time you lift your pen, you will recharge your brush with new paint. So just lift it every once in a while. And if you leave it on the screen, you can nicely blend colors. You can go a little bit closer to the center. And let's also create like a circle on the outside. Very lightly. So we'll be getting something like this. And then let's go to the wrench, turn off our drawing guide. And let's also go to our layer. You can see that it says assisted. So actually our drawing guide, our symmetry is still turned on here. It's still working if you check it out. So what we need to do is tap the layer and turn off drawing assist so we can continue working. Now let's grab our next color, which is slightly more saturated. And let's make our brush a little bit smaller. Let's go for 15%. And now we can go over these slices and we can add a bit more like variety, change them a little bit so they're not all exactly the same. So it doesn't look like perfectly symmetrical. Just adding some like darker parts. And also some color variety. And like I said, if you leave your pen on the screen, you can easily blend colors. And every time you lift it, it'll recharge. So just add a bunch of blobs. Maybe add a little bit over here towards that center. And then let's go even darker. Let's grab this color, third color, and well, the only row that we have here. And let's make the brush even smaller. Let's go for 5%. We can add some darker colors here, add some more like refinement. Just not all over. Make it nice and messy. You don't have to give this a whole lot of thought. Just adding this extra color variety, it'll add to the interest or how interesting our watercolor painting will look. And then this one. Just adding orange touches all over. what's great about this brush is that it can also be used as a smudge tool. You can tap and hold the smudge tool so that it will switch to that round watery brush. And you can leave the opacity, or in this case, like the smudge strength at 100%. And let's set the size to 20. Let's see. And then you can just go over and blend some parts, or maybe make some edges a little bit messy like this. Adding to that a watercolor effect. Now let's go back to the brush. Let's add a little bit on that outer edge, getting some variety there as well. Just going along the edge, and in some areas these dabs might be a bit more dark, a bit more opaque, so you can go over multiple times. And you can also go back to the yellow, to that first color, and add a bit more yellow in there as well. Blend that in, get a nice edge all around. Now let's go even darker. Let's grab this color, fourth color, and let's use that a little bit on the, like the little slices, or like compartments of the lemon slice as well. All for some variety. Looks way more interesting with all these colors than if you would just use yellow only. Don't be afraid to experiment with different colors. Maybe a little bit on the outside. And then we'll move to this color, fifth color. And let's just use that a little bit in this center area. Don't add too much of this. We don't want our lemon to look like rotten. Maybe a little bit on the outside. And let's also make our brush really small, like 1%. And then go along that outer edge a bit. And over here. And we can also do that with that orange color, third color. Add a bit more. And maybe some dabs. You can also do that with the yellow, with the second color. Just some blotches. By the way, if you want to follow more watercolor projects, or just more Procreate tutorials in general and really build your skills, then go check out my Patreon. I have more than 200 tutorials there. And like I said, I also cover watercolor painting there, along with lots of other techniques and styles. So go check that out. And now let's get another brush from my Procreate treasure chest. Like I said, it's totally free. You can get it at freefromflow.com. We'll use the Fineliner brush. And let's grab this darker color, fifth color. And let me check the size. Well, it's actually fine. It's at 100% opacity. And the size is at 10%. And then let's just add a thin little line, not all around, but in some parts, getting a little bit of crispness. Sometimes it's handy to move around your canvas. I find it easier to make like this movement, but this can help get a little bit of crispness in. I just wanted around the edge. And if you feel like it's getting too crisp, you can get the smudge tool with that round watery brush and go over a bit, maybe dab a little bit to make it a little bit wet. Finally, I'd like to add some light touches to this illustration. And we'll do that by adding a layer mask to our layer. You can tap it and then just tap mask. And now on this white layer mask, we can paint with black. Just double tap here to grab black and we can mask parts. So it's a bit like erasing, but it's non-destructive. So if we would go over here with white, and then we would remove this white part, or actually let the paint show up again. So right now we're blocking it, and we can add some of these shiny highlights, because this lemon, it's moist, giving these bright highlights. So just some short lines moving out from the center. So make sure to keep that in mind. So don't make highlights like this. That wouldn't make sense. But let them follow that direction. So just for all these parts. And this one. And a great thing you can do is switch to that watercolor brush, that round watery brush, and also get in some more subtle highlights or some subtle light parts. You can also blend these highlights in a little bit if they are too crisp. Also here. Just also some lines spreading out from the center. And that's how you can very easily create a watercolor lemon slice on your iPad in Procreate. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.